Hey everyone, I need to talk to you about something pretty significant happening today, Thursday, February 5th. Environment Canada has rolled out a bunch of new weather alerts this morning, and I'm talking coast to coast to coast here. These alerts are spanning multiple provinces and territories, and honestly, if you live in any of these affected areas or you're planning to travel, you need to pay attention to this. We're looking at alerts in Ontario, Quebec, Alberta, British Columbia, Saskatchewan, Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. It's one of those days where Mother Nature is really showing us what she's capable of across the entire country. Let me walk you through everything you need to know. All right, so let's start up in Northern Ontario, where Environment Canada has issued yellow warnings for freezing drizzle affecting 3 regions. We're talking about Pickle Lake to Cat Lake, Pikangikum to Poplar Hill to McDowell, and Sandy Lake to Woonaman Lake to Deer Lake. These warnings came out at 5:31 a.m. Eastern Time this morning, and they're going to remain in effect through this afternoon. What's happening is areas of freezing drizzle are creating light ice accretion across these northern regions. The freezing drizzle is going to linger through this afternoon before transitioning to light flurries this evening. Now here's the thing with freezing drizzle, it's making roads, walkways, and basically any surface out there icy and extremely slippery. The critical concern here is that these icy surfaces are really difficult to detect. They can form rapidly and you might not even see them until it's too late. So if you're in any of these northern Ontario communities, extreme caution is the name of the game today. Let's swing over to northern Quebec, where we've got a yellow warning for blizzard conditions issued for Umujak. This warning was issued at 4:20 a.m. Eastern Time, and it's in effect for late this evening through overnight tonight. What we're looking at is snowfall, combined with strong easterly winds that are going to cause blizzard conditions with near zero visibility. Travel is going to be extremely hazardous during the height of this blizzard tonight. If you're in Umujak or planning to be anywhere near that area tonight, seriously reconsider those plans. Now, British Columbia is experiencing widespread dense fog across 5 regions. Yellow advisories for fog were issued at 5:37 a.m. Pacific Time. The affected areas include 100 Mile House, East Columbia, North Columbia, North Thompson, mainly near Clearwater, and West Columbia. We're also looking at impacts on Highway 97 from Clinton to 100 Mile House via Begbie Summit, mainly near Big Bar, and the Trans-Canada Highway from Eagle Pass to Rogers Pass. Near zero visibility and fog is occurring right now, and it's going to continue until early this afternoon. Widespread near zero visibility is possible, so if you're traveling in any of these areas, you need to adjust your plans accordingly. These major highways are significantly impacted, creating some really dangerous driving conditions. Over in Saskatchewan, we've got yellow warnings for freezing rain affecting 3 northern regions. These warnings were issued at 5:11 a.m. Central Time for Buffalo Narrows and Peter Pond Lake, also Île La Crosse and Beauval, and La Loche and Clearwater River Provincial Park. The freezing rain will end later this morning, which is good news, but those icy conditions are going to persist. Roads and walkways are going to be very slippery, so you'll need to exercise extreme caution even after the precipitation stops. Now let's talk about the Northwest Territories, because this is where things get really serious. There's a yellow warning for extreme cold at Kugluktuk Lake. This warning was issued at 7:27 a.m. Mountain Time. And look, these are very serious conditions we're dealing with. Wind chills are near minus 50 degrees Celsius this morning. Although these wind chills will moderate by this afternoon, we're still looking at values in the minus 40s expected into tomorrow. This is among the most dangerous cold conditions in Canada today. I'm not exaggerating when I say this is life-threatening stuff. In Nunavut, yellow warnings for cold affect Igloolik and Sanikiluaq. Extreme cold puts everyone at risk, but there's greater risk for young children, older adults, and people with chronic illnesses. Also at higher risk are people working or exercising outdoors and those without proper shelter. If you're in these communities, you need to take this extremely seriously. The Yukon has issued a yellow warning for blizzard conditions affecting the Dempster Highway region. This is a critical warning for travelers on one of Canada's most remote highways. Blizzard conditions are going to create near zero visibility and extremely hazardous travel conditions. If you're planning to travel on the Dempster Highway, honestly, reconsider your plans or significantly delay your departure. It's just not worth the risk. Now, these new alerts are in addition to the conditions we reported in this morning's forecast. Let me give you a quick recap of those major systems so you have the full picture of what's happening across Canada today. Calgary continues experiencing record-tying temperatures at 16 degrees Celsius due to Chinook winds. Pretty remarkable for early February. Manitoba remains under cold warning, with Arctic air bringing wind chill values to -25 to -30 degrees tomorrow. Southern Ontario, including Toronto, will see 2 to 8 centimeters of snow tonight into Friday morning. Montreal continues cold conditions at -8 degrees, with periods of snow expected. Halifax is experiencing winter flurries that will taper off this evening, and Vancouver remains mild at 13 degrees, though fog is affecting interior regions of British Columbia, as I mentioned earlier. All right, so now let's discuss specific safety precautions for these weather hazards, because understanding the risks is one thing, but knowing how to protect yourself is what really matters here. For freezing rain and freezing drizzle in northern Ontario, Alberta, and Saskatchewan, listen carefully to this. Freezing precipitation creates an invisible layer of ice that is extremely dangerous. Unlike regular ice or snow, you often cannot see the accumulation until it's too late. If you must drive in these conditions, reduce your speed by at least 50% and increase your following distance to 6 to 8 seconds. That's a lot more than normal, I know, but trust me, you need that extra space. Avoid sudden braking or acceleration because that can cause you to lose control instantly. Test your brakes gently at low speeds before entering traffic so you understand what the road conditions are actually like. For pedestrians walking in these areas, wear footwear with good traction or attach ice cleats if you have them available. Walk slowly and deliberately, taking smaller steps to maintain your balance. Keep your hands out of your pockets so you can break a fall if necessary. I know it's cold and you want to keep your hands warm, but it's more important to be able to catch yourself if you slip. Be especially cautious on steps, bridges, overpasses, and shaded areas. These spots tend to ice up first and stay icy longer. For fog conditions in British Columbia, near zero visibility requires some special driving techniques. Use your low beam headlights or fog lights, not high beams. This is really important. High beams actually reflect off fog particles and reduce your visibility even more. Reduce your speed significantly and use the right edge of the road or painted road markings as a guide. Increase your following distance to at least 5 to 6 seconds in dense fog. If visibility becomes too poor to continue safely, pull completely off the road, as far off as you can get. Turn off all your lights and wait for conditions to improve. Here's why you turn off your lights. Leaving them on can actually cause other vehicles to follow you off the road thinking you're still on the traveled portion. It's counterintuitive, but it's the safe thing to do. For extreme cold in Kugluktuk Lake, Igloolik, and Sanikiluaq, these are life-threatening conditions, and I need you to understand that. Wind chill values near -50 degrees Celsius can cause frostbite in less than 5 minutes. Cover all exposed skin, and I mean all of it, including your face, hands, and ears. Wear multiple layers with a wind-resistant outer layer. The wind is what makes this so dangerous, so you need that wind protection. Watch for cold-related symptoms. These include shortness of breath, chest pain, muscle pain, and weakness. Also, numbness and color changes in your fingers and toes. If you notice white or grayish-yellow skin, skin that feels unusually firm or waxy, or numbness, seek shelter immediately. Do not rub frostbitten areas because that can cause more damage. You want to warm up gradually, not rapidly. And remember this, if it's too cold for you to stay outside, it's too cold for your pets to stay outside. Bring them in. For blizzard conditions in Umujak, Quebec, and Dempster in Yukon, near zero visibility means you will not be able to see more than a few meters ahead of you. Do not attempt to travel during blizzard conditions unless it is a life-threatening emergency. And I mean that. If you must be outside, stay close to buildings and use guide ropes if they're available. It is really easy to become disoriented in blizzard conditions, even in areas you know well. That's how dangerous these conditions are. If you're traveling and you become stranded, stay with your vehicle. This is crucial. Run the engine periodically for heat, but make absolutely sure your exhaust pipe is clear of snow. Carbon monoxide poisoning is a serious risk in these situations, so you need to check your exhaust frequently. Get out and physically check it every time before you run the engine. Now let me clarify the timing for these weather events so you know exactly when to expect what. Freezing rain and drizzle in Alberta and Saskatchewan will end later this morning. However, and this is important, icy surfaces will remain hazardous through tonight. Just because the precipitation stops doesn't mean the danger is over. Freezing drizzle in northern Ontario will continue through this afternoon before transitioning to flurries. Fog in British Columbia will persist until early this afternoon and then gradually lift. The blizzard in Umujak will develop late this evening and persist through overnight into Friday morning. extreme cold in the Northwest Territories, and Nunavut will continue through tonight and into tomorrow. Wind chill values will moderate slightly, but they're still going to remain dangerous in the -40s. To put this all in perspective for you, weather alerts are now in effect across 8 provinces and territories. This represents one of the most widespread weather events we've seen this winter season. Think about that for a second. From extreme cold in the Arctic to freezing precipitation across the prairies and northern regions, from dense fog in British Columbia to blizzards in Quebec and Yukon, combined with the ongoing cold warnings in Manitoba and snow warnings in southern Ontario, a very large portion of Canada is experiencing significant weather impacts today. That's a huge swath of the country, all dealing with challenging conditions at the same time. Remote communities face particular challenges during events like this because access to emergency services may be delayed. Please check on your neighbors, especially elderly residents or those living alone. In remote communities, we really need to look out for each other because help might not be able to get there quickly if someone needs it. Let me summarize the key points from this comprehensive update so you have everything in one place. Northern Ontario has 3 regions under freezing drizzle warning through this afternoon. Northern Quebec's Umujak faces blizzard conditions tonight into Friday morning. Alberta has 6 regions in the Wood Buffalo area under freezing rain warning ending late morning. British Columbia has 5 regions under fog advisory with near zero visibility until early afternoon. Saskatchewan has 3 northern regions under freezing rain warning ending late morning. Northwest Territories' Kugluktuk Lake has extreme cold with wind chills near -50 degrees. Nunavut's Igloolik and Senikaluak are also under extreme cold warnings. And Yukon's Dempster region faces blizzard conditions. For the most current and official information, visit Environment Canada at weather.gc.ca. You can also call their weather information line or tune to local radio stations for updates. Radio is especially important in remote areas where internet access might be limited or unreliable. Look, this comprehensive update was prepared based on alerts issued this morning, February 5th, 2026. But here's the thing, weather conditions can change rapidly. What looks manageable now could deteriorate quickly, especially with systems like this. So please continue monitoring official sources throughout the day. Don't just check once and assume you're good. Stay on top of it. Stay safe out there, take appropriate precautions, and avoid unnecessary travel in affected areas. I know sometimes you have to get somewhere, but if it's not absolutely essential, today might be a day to just stay put. Your safety is more important than making that appointment or getting to that meeting. Most things can wait a day. This is one of those situations where we're seeing the full power and variety of Canadian weather all at once. From record warmth in Calgary to life-threatening cold in the Arctic, from blizzards in the north to fog on the coast, it's a reminder of just how diverse our weather can be across this massive country. But with the right precautions and by staying informed, we can all get through this safely. If you found this update helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on notifications because with weather like this, conditions can change quickly and you want to stay in the loop. I'll be monitoring all of these systems and bringing you updates as things develop. Thanks for watching, everyone, and seriously, be careful out there today. Check on your neighbors, keep your pets inside if you're in those cold zones, and if you don't absolutely have to travel through any of these affected areas, consider postponing your trip. I'll see you in the next update. Stay safe, stay warm, and take care of each other out there. Canada.